All right, this is the SpeedFam model 625 TFG 4-post design through-feed grinding system. Serial number 625 TFG 466910-345. Has the atomic air gauging system, which is for size control, and also automatic wheel wear compensation through the same gauging system. Not shown is the coolant filtration system and a wraparound conveyor.
That's about it, yep. It's all sitting in back. So right, you're under control obviously right now. So we'll get back to this in a little bit, but yeah, it's got the Sony controller with the atomic gauge. When we go around the back, I'll show it to you. That's our air gauge on-off. Sizing all works for this one actually. It's an air gauge that works with the transducer back there. Everything's good to go here. When we come back around, we'll fire it up. Pump motor, and of course the spindle. The cabinet's down right now, so maybe after we come back around and bring it up, we'll bring the cabinet up and take a look at the chuck down in there. All you can see now is the belt. The DMACC unit comes on with the belt, so when we fire up this guy, this all comes alive, and that's the DMACC unit controller up there. So that all comes on board. Maybe we'll take a walk back through here when I'm running, just to show everything. Lights come on. This light will come on. And here's all our temped in area back here. Gets kind of dicey, but we do have a couple books on here. We got schematics, operator manual, setup. It's all good stuff right there. And if you look down low on the floors by 480 coming in with the wiring harness coming out of the panel, they took it out clean and just rolled it all up, so I'm leaving that alone. It's nice to have. That all goes back to the coolant section. Right now I've just got things jumpered out, flow switch and float switch and whatever else I needed to make this thing run dry without the coolant system. So that's the electric panel obviously, and the rest of it is back on the main filtration system. Here's the atomic gauge I was talking about. Right now we're red lighted, of course, because we're not powered up. So that bar goes up and down. These are the parameter settings down here where you set your high and lows for the range, actually, for how far away from the part you want to get or how close to it before it trips out. So it's all set pretty good right now. I left it alone. Down below is the coolant system for the spindle and that pump motor right there. It holds about, I think, 40 liters of water, if I'm not mistaken. This is hydraulics here, main pump motor. And back around again to the feed side of the conveyor. Water nozzle, and while you're there, if you want, I can maybe work around up here. We can turn on hydraulics. I'll pick up the cabinet right away. And you can take a better look at the wheel and the chuck. It'll lock itself up there. That stays. There's the wheel. Water system would come through there, of course. And in fact, if you want, we can turn on the wheel right now. I'm right here, kind of right now. If you kind of do both, maybe. You can kind of see, yeah. There's coolant, which I've just got it all jumped out. It thinks it's on. It needs to see that on before we can go to this. So we can turn on. Oh, I can't turn on wheel here, but we can still. I have to let this down. The interlock needs to be on before I can let the wheel down. So here's the dual palms to bring it down. And of course, if you let off, it goes right back up again. Let me make sure I'm clear. Yeah, I'm awfully close. Let me get away from that a little bit. There we go. And let's take it down all the way. Yeah, we got room. 5 inches now. And right now I'm 14 millimeters off of my part just for now. I can dial it back in with this adjuster right here before we go any farther. This is the adjuster for the point, for the orifice nozzle, the air package. That's it right there. So you can course set it off that wheel. Once you're set close for your parts, then the rest just takes over here on the air gauge itself right here through the atomic control. So hydraulics on, coolant's on, size is off. We'll do that lastly. I don't even have the air on yet. We'll turn on wheel. Flow I'm going to turn on again. That's back on the coolant system. Oh, I can do belt right now actually though. You can show the belt. No? I thought I could. We're down. Let's try wheel. Let's bring the wheel up. You'll see that. And I'm going to shut it off too, just so you can kind of hear the brake. It's timed out really good too. They got it set pretty close. I don't know if you can see it. Let that time out, and we'll power it up one more time. And flow is meaningless, but I'm just going to turn it on, and now the belt. Now we're moving. That's off this pot right here, of course, so I can bring it up or down and move it. And right now, if you come around, we should have our DMACC unit on back here. Yeah, show that a little bit. I'll move the control out of the way some. Yeah. I'm going to speed it up some. Oh yeah, that's flying now. And slow it down. It's a 20 turn pot here, so it takes a while to get that thing all the way down. But over here now, you'll see the DMACC unit's on right now, and that's the controller for it. And you put a piece of metal up through there, it's humming away right now. You can feel it. So and that's the controller. They got it set at 3, and that's probably a good DMACC setting. DC motor's running right now. And again, I slow the belt down. Where are we at here? Oh, I did. It came down a little bit, see? There we go. That's real slow. You see that feed belt. Now I'm going to speed it up a little bit more. Yeah. It's a lot faster. So that's good. And that said, I don't know. Let's see what else we got here. So wheels on. We got wheel, a belt, and hydraulic. I could go wheel up if I want. And that's just a core setting. Micro setting is here for down and moves, I think 5/10 at a time, or continuously if you hold it. So I'm going to leave that setting alone, and I can bring her down some. See it dropping down 3.7, 3.6, 3.4. That's off the micro setting. If I go wheel up, then we're flying right along here. So I'm going to come back down towards 0, turn the air on, and we can kind of just show the air gauge and how it comps automatically when we get oversized, as if the wheel was getting worn out. Let me get it down close. We'll take it down to about 2 or 3 millimeter, and then I'll just dial it in off the hand wheel down there, because I don't want to crash it in on this one. It's moving pretty fast. 6, 5, 4, 3, maybe a little bit more. That should do it. 4. So now I'm just going to keep dialing it up until I get off the air gauge over. I'm going to turn the air on. That's all good. And before I even turn the gauge on, I'm going to bring it up and get close. I can drop down slow maybe. That's too slow for me. I want to get a little bit closer to the air gauge. I can dial it up faster over here. That's just me on the hand wheel right now. You can hear that air getting louder? Yeah. Yep. Oh, too much. Okay, there. Too much. Hang on a second here. Yeah. So there's size right there now. So it's happy. If I turn the air gauge on, it's on. Now if I go away from the wheel a little bit, it should comp. And let's just call this 0, in fact, right now. That's 0. I'm going to get away from it a little bit, and as soon as I get my yellow light, I'm going to let go, and it should comp it back to 0. Yep, there. And everything's on. And it did it. There it is. I'll go one more time. Make it oversized. 11, 12, 13. It's chasing it back to 0. Now I'm going to go the other way, and what it does on under, if it hits, it jerks back about, I don't know, 2 or 3 millimeter, I think, if I go too close to it now. So let's see. I'm gonna get in real close on it. Yep, there it is. See? So jump back 1.1 millimeter. Now it's over again. So now it's going to come all the way back down until it sees size. So that's the kind of way that works. If you hear that fluttering in there, that's the orifice. There's a piece taken out of the wheel. It got bumped, I guess. So you're hearing that air go on and off with the orifice, the air gauge. So it's getting pretty close. Once it gets up to 0, I can help it move it up a little bit quicker. Once it gets up to 0 on size, it'll stop again. We're getting close. You can hear it. There it is. Or just shut off the air gauge. And you can do things manually and bring it on through. Bring this thing off of there a little bit. See, as soon as we get away from the air gauge, you don't hear that fluttering anymore. So that's that. Wheels on, we can do that one more time, 'cause that's a big one in here. Let me shut off the air. And shut off the belt and whatever else. We don't need that, we don't need that. Listen to the brake. Right there, maybe one more time. I said the wheel sounds really good on this one. And that's it, we'll swing it back out a little bit, come on out of here, and we'll brake it one more time. And hydraulics off. We're good to go here.